You think life's tough? Try surviving medieval times. Think your life is hard? Wi-Fi goes down and it's a crisis. Your oat milk latte is lukewarm and your whole day is ruined. But let's be real. You wouldn't last 5 minutes in medieval Europe. We've gotten soft, really soft. Back then, daily life was basically a survival challenge, on hard mode, with no respawns. So buckle in because I'm about to walk you through what an average day in medieval times actually looked like. And spoiler alert, it's less Game of Thrones and more game of survive long enough to eat moldy bread. Let's start with food, or as peasants called it, edible-ish things that don't kill you immediately. Forget the roast pigs and goblets of wine you've seen in movies. Unless you were royalty or knew someone who was, you were stuck eating pottage. What's pottage? Think vegetable soup if it gave up on life. Just a pot of boiling sadness with turnips, leeks, and whatever else didn't rot yet. And yes, it cooked for days. Not because that made it taste better, but because… dishes? Nah, just toss more stuff in and keep it going until it becomes a flavorless, mushy brew of yesterday's dinner and tomorrow's regrets. Bread was everywhere, but don't get excited. It was dark, rock hard, and full of surprises. Why? Because the flour was ground using stone mills, which meant every bite came with a sprinkle of gravel. Dental plans weren't really a thing, so everyone just adjusted. Or didn't. Oh, and fungus? Yeah, that grew on rye and could make people hallucinate or, die. Some towns probably accused people of witchcraft when they were just high on bad bread. Water? Not if you valued your internal organs. Medieval water was like a game of Russian roulette with poop. Instead, people, kids included, drank ale all day, every day. But not the boozy kind that makes karaoke seem like a good idea. It was small ale, weak in alcohol, but strong in germ-killing power. The average peasant drank around 6 to 8 pints daily. Even little Timmy downing a tankard with breakfast was totally normal, because hydration doesn't logic. Imagine a 5-year-old today with a juice box filled with beer. That was just Tuesday back then. Now let's talk medieval toilets, or more accurately, the complete and utter lack of them. Most folks did their business in chamber pots, just buckets under the bed. And once it was full, toss it out the window. No, seriously, just chuck it into the street and yell, "Gardez l'eau!" French for "watch out for the water," except the water wasn't really water. You get the idea. Castles had garderobes, holes in the wall where waste dropped down, sometimes 50 feet, which sounds clever until you realize that castle walls weren't exactly cleaned regularly. So if you ever visit a medieval ruin, maybe don't lean on anything. Toilet paper? No thanks. You had moss, your hand, or if you were fancy, a bit of cloth. Charmin didn't exist, just shame and splinters. Think your 9 to 5 is rough? Try 4:30 a.m. to complete exhaustion, every day, just to avoid starving. Most people were farmers, not organic avocado growers, but dirt-level subsistence farmers growing enough to not die. Wake up at dawn, work the fields with a wooden plow pulled by an ox, go home, collapse, repeat. The average medieval farmer burned more calories in one day than a modern gym rat on leg day. And their reward? Pottage. If you weren't a farmer, you were probably an apprentice, starting at age 7 and working for free for a decade just to maybe get paid someday. Careers included blacksmith, enjoy your constant burns, tanner, work with urine all day, or gong farmer, you literally shoveled poop for a living. But hey, at least they didn't have to answer emails. Feeling sick? Bad luck. Hope you enjoy leeches. Medical knowledge was, to put it gently, a medieval joke. No one knew about bacteria, so illness was blamed on bad air, angry gods, or an imbalance of your bodily humors. That's right. Too much bile? Time to bleed you out. Fever? Better apply some hot goat dung and whisper prayers. Toothache? No dentist, just someone with pliers and shaky hands. Doctors used mercury, let blood flow like a horror movie, and applied poultices made from things better left unnamed. Basically, you either got better on your own or died from the cure. How do you like your justice system? Innocent until proven guilty? Not quite. More like guilty until you survive something stupid. If you were accused of a crime, you might be subjected to trial by ordeal, like holding a red-hot iron bar or being tossed into a lake to see if you float. Float, and you were guilty. Sink, and you were innocent, and also dead. If you were really unlucky, you get drawn and quartered, which involved hanging, disembowelment, and dismemberment. And yes, people brought snacks to watch. Jails weren't punishment. They were waiting rooms for punishment. No food, no bedding, and definitely no human rights. You might get tortured into confessing, just to make it stop, even if you were innocent. But don't worry, they'd kill you anyway. Medieval war wasn't knights and honor. It was mud, chaos, and screaming. Armor? Only the rich had this shiny stuff. Everyone else wore padded rags and hoped for the best. Swords were expensive. Most people fought with sharpened farm tools. Longbows were terrifying. English archers trained from childhood and ended up with lopsided skeletons from drawing 200-pound bows. Sieges were even worse. Trapped in a castle with no food, enjoy rats, leather boots, and, if it really got bad, each other. Yikes. And when the armies weren't fighting, they were looting. Your village was dinner, housing, and entertainment all in one. Let's wrap with daily life. It stank. Literally. Towns reeked of human waste, animal guts, smoke, and whatever died in the alley. People bathed once or twice a year, maybe. Lice were a given. Clothes were scratchy, rarely washed, and full of holes. Everyone shared beds. Privacy didn't exist. Entertainment meant watching a bear fight some dogs. Or if you were lucky, a juggler with 2 teeth. Oh, and you couldn't even talk to people easily. Middle English sounded like a drunk pirate reading Shakespeare backwards. So next time you're annoyed by slow Wi-Fi or someone messing up your coffee order, just remember, at least no one's throwing a chamber pot out a window above your head. Medieval life? Hard pass. If you enjoyed this dark tour of the past, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what era you definitely not want to time travel to.